Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rebel Religion in the News. Jerry O'Lennon, along with Pastor Alfredo Romero, our co-host of Rock of Life Fellowship
Yep.
in Chico. Hey, we were talking earlier this week about the most sinful cities in the United States, and we were kind of surprised at some of the listings. It's based on anger and hatred, jealousy, excesses and vices, greed, lust, vanity, and laziness. And the researchers examined the relevant metrics within the 7 groups for each city and assigned a numerical value. And so the top 10, but we're going to also talk about the least sinful cities.
Yeah, the good ones.
Yeah, the good guys. Sin City was the number 1.
Yeah.
Vegas, a final score of 63. Clear winner, it says. They scored first in the greed category. You'd think so, but there's everything there. I lived there. You know, and we talked about this before. I remember the city back in, I think it was about the 90s, 80s to 90s. There was this big push to make Las Vegas a family destination because they have roller coasters and they have
The Wizard of Oz.
yes, they have dolphins that you could pet, you know. Oh, the kids could pet the dolphins. Yeah, but there's also strip club on every corner. There's casinos, there's temptation. You talk
Brothels.
brothels. There is not one that city. And I've lived there. I lived there for 10 years back when I was a young man. I regret it. But that is the devil's playground. That more than any place in the world, that is the devil's playground.
Wow.
Oh, no, I mean it. And whew, yeah, it was number 1. Houston was number 2. I couldn't figure that out. It got, Vegas got 63 on the sin scale. Houston got 57, although it ranked number 1 in lust. Houston was number 1 in lust
Yikes.
over Vegas because maybe the people in Vegas are too busy gambling. They don't have enough time to get lustful. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, but Houston surprising me, but it's a very non-conservative place, and I guess it's on number 1 because the amount of was it pornography and
Yeah.
yes, and the whole environment of strip clubs.
A lot of strip clubs
A lot of
out
strip
in
clubs,
Houston.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently. And I mean, it's not trying to be funny. I wouldn't know. I just wouldn't know anything about that.
I've never been to Houston, for the record.
I was in Houston, but it was there just to cover a football game for the team I was covering, and that was the only reason. And I don't remember anything about it, and I certainly don't remember any strip clubs there because I was just in the hotel. But at any rate, number 3 I thought was disappointing. Philadelphia.
Yeah, yeah.
Close. It was a close third, 56.83 compared to Houston's 57.21. It did really high on anger, hatred, and jealousy. But you see, I think anger and hatred well, I don't know. I mean, some sins. I mean, I don't know whether they've weighted the sins. I mean, to me, some sins are probably worse than other sins. Violence, lust. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I don't know. The violence, what I know about Philadelphia, I've never been there, but from what I know about Philadelphia, it's very culturally divided. And, you think of Rocky, the movie. It's just a bunch of kids running through the street, having fun,
Mm-hmm.
And
Not like that, I guess.
No, it's not like that, no.
Yeah. Los Angeles came in 4, and I think we both agreed that the other California major city would have been in this spot or higher.
Yeah.
San Francisco. I would have guessed Vegas and then San Francisco number 2. But, I mean, maybe not. I mean, it depends on how you're defining some of these issues.
They may not be defining San Francisco as sinful because it's just known as dirty and filthy and a lot of homeless people and
Yeah.
very liberal in its laws and very strict with gun laws and things like that. It may not, I look at it as very sinful, but maybe they're not looking at it as conservative liberal cities, but biblically sinful.
Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia came in at number 5, named Atlanta second in lust and 4th in jealousy. And again, it's hard to understand because Georgia, again, is more of a you're still kind of in the Bible Belt there, or at least close to the Bible Belt, and I'm kind of wondering, why is Georgia there? Why is anything in Georgia listed as being very sinful? The only thing most sinful about Georgia in Atlanta is its airport, which is a complete disaster. Have you ever been to the Atlanta airport?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
I have.
what a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. We flew into Atlanta
Oh,
because my sister lived in South Carolina. So
mhm.
we drove from Atlanta to South Carolina, and it took us hours to get out of Atlanta.
Oh, it's horrible. Number six, and I wouldn't have guessed this. Denver, Colorado ranked eighth for both
Denver,
anger
the
and
Mile High
hatred and
City.
lust. Well, yeah, I don't get it. Denver always seems like such of a nice area, and it's nice. Maybe it's because you just visit the snow and and the mountains. I mean, who could be unhappy there?
Yeah,
It's so
John
scenic.
Denver singing, "I'm on top of the world looking down."
Yeah,
I never mind, whatever.
yeah. Well, no, I like John Denver's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Number seven, Dallas, Texas. I'd
My
like to.
sister and my mom live right outside of Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Melissa.
Number eight is a disappointment. Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Phoenix was rated
By
sixth
the
for
time
lust.
I get to Phoenix.
Now, why would that be? I mean, why would that be? I mean, why would Phoenix rate high? I mean, there is a big college there, Arizona State. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe some of these are big college towns where you have younger people that maybe less families. Maybe I mean Dallas, Texas has several big colleges in Dallas.
Does it list the big sin that they're known for?
Which one?
Phoenix? Does it
Yeah,
list the sin?
yeah. It says Phoenix ranks sixth for lust.
Lust. Maybe it's so hot people want to go inside in the cool rooms and sin, I guess. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I
I mean,
don't
it could
know, I
be.
guess. They must have a lot of like peep shows and movies and theaters and strip
Um,
clubs and
again, I have a
it's a
son who
big basketball city. So, you know,
I don't know. It doesn't make sense because Phoenix doesn't strike me as being a lustful town. But
I don't
maybe
know.
it's because I've been there and I like the scenery. I love the desert climate, and I'm like, oh, this is such a great place. This is heaven on earth.
I was just
And
there a year ago.
yeah, did you like it?
We spent a day there on the way driving to Texas. I didn't see any problems with it.
Yeah,
So I have no idea. But then I stay out of trouble, so
yeah. Well, there you go. You're a pastor. You should.
I have to.
Number
I
nine,
want to.
Miami, Florida. Which I can see that. It's
Okay.
considered relatively safe with a low
Yeah.
anger and hatred rank, seventh in lust, 10th in jealousy. I can see the jealousy part because there's a lot of hoity-toities. I think that live in, is there like I got a nicer pool than you got. I'm on the golf course. I'm on the green. I'm on the 18th green. You're only you're not on the golf course.
Hey, isn't that where "Say Hello to My Little Friend"? Was that
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Miami Mafia?
Scarface,
Scarface. Is that the
with
Mafia
Al
of
Pacino.
Miami and the
Yes.
sin and the lust there? Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
could be. That could be. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I could see the envy. I don't know if jealousy is the right word.
All
More
I ever
envy.
see, remember Miami Vice? They'd always show the women on the beach,
Oh
bouncing down the
yeah,
beach,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah. Maybe
a lot of
maybe
lust
Miami
there.
does belong there,
Yeah,
and it is. You got to if it's a beach town, you're gonna have
yeah.
a
A
lot
lot
of
of kids and
bikinis and stuff.
bikinis. It's
Yeah.
a spring break, and
Gosh, this one's a surprise. Number 10th on the Sin City list, Cleveland, Ohio.
no, I can
Third,
see that.
you see,
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been there.
there's nothing to do in Cleveland. So I mean, maybe
Well, that's the problem.
maybe that's the problem. Third in anger, I could see that. They're living in Cleveland for goodness sake. So it's like, gosh, we live in Cleveland. Of course, I'm angry.
You know why I went to Cleveland?
No.
I went to go see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, did you like it?
I loved it. They have a room with about Elvis and stuff like that, and it was just very, it was really cool. I mean, I'm rock musician, was in bands and all that stuff, and so you walk in there and you see the clothes of stars and the movie clips in their cars and awards and certain things. And I thought it was great. The Elvis room made me cry.
Hmm.
You walk in there and you start crying right away. But
Yeah.
I was a big Elvis fan.
We are going to talk about the 10 least sinful cities in America, but we're going to do that in the second segment. I
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit more about some of the cities that didn't make the 10 most sinful cities. Number one, Vegas, Houston, two, Philly, three, LA, four, Atlanta, five, Denver, six, Dallas, seven, Phoenix, eight, Miami, nine, and Cleveland, 10. I don't know.
Who would you would have thought should have been on there?
I thought San Francisco would be there.
Yeah, me too.
I really thought San Francisco would
I
be
thought
there.
New Orleans would be there with all the voodoo and all
Yeah,
the mystic
yeah.
and spiritual weird stuff,
And New Orleans. So, but then again, or New York. I thought New York City would be on there.
especially now.
Yeah, what's going? Yeah, I mean, it seems like I would think so. But it could be it could be that there are just pockets of this type of sin that we think about. Like
Chicago.
when you Chicago. When you go to Las Vegas, the whole city is inundated with temptation. You can't escape it. You cannot escape it. I mean, you go into the grocery store. There are slot machines. You cannot get away from it. Everybody knows that's true. That's not any breaking news, but it's still unbelievable like I haven't been to Vegas in 20 years, 25 years since I got married. And I'm telling you, I would go there now and I'd be like, God, that's right. That's right. They have slot machines in the airport. This is ridiculous. But it's just such of a natural way of life for them
I don't know.
that you just and
You go
this
into gas stations like a row of 4 slot machines.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
But I mean, and I got to be honest, I'm kind of glad to hear that Las Vegas is kind of falling apart. A lot of the casinos are having difficult time paying their bills. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've looked. You can look it up online.
yeah.
Um,
They're struggling. They're
yeah, they are
down.
struggling.
They're down. I think the last I saw was 16% down in traffic.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what the number was. And
Yeah,
why would people need to go to Vegas now? There's gambling all over. You
online,
gamble
online gambling.
online, and you save yourself the money of having to travel there to get a expensive hotel. The food is ridiculous. It used to be the food was the best thing you'd get.
That was the draw.
Yeah,
I'm going to go into Vegas for the weekend. I'm going to have a $1.99 buffet, eat
yeah.
steak and whatever.
The buffet's $25.
Yeah, minimum, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, minimum. We
yeah.
went to a concert at the Grand Sierra in Reno, and we try to eat. I just go for the concerts, people. But I went to see a band there that I used to like, and you couldn't eat. My wife and I couldn't eat in even a cafe for less than $80.
Mhm.
It was just the food got ridiculous. Anyway,
Yeah, but my advice is if you have a chance to live in, yeah, I guess Las Vegas is an okay place to visit and although I don't know. I mean, why go to some place that you know is going to create enormous temptation and knowing that you could fall prey to that?
yeah,
Don't tempt yourself. I mean, if you're going specifically to, like you say, to go to a concert and you're able to get good tickets, and I guess if you just go there and just look at the lights and look at some of the things, maybe it's okay. But
yeah,
anyway, we're going to step aside. We're going to talk about the 10 least sinful cities in America.
yeah.
We'll be doing that right after the break, so please stay with us. All right, welcome back. We were talking about we talked about the 10 most sinful cities. Now we're going to talk about the 10 least sinful cities by a survey done, a very complicated system, kind of like trying to figure out wins above replacement if you're a baseball guy. How do you figure this stuff out? But
Yeah.
it's a very, very complicated mathematical equation, which we won't get into. But anyway, the 10 least sinful cities in America, according to this Wallet Hub, which did the research. Okay, let's see how we start this. Okay, I'm going to make sure I get this
Go
right.
back
The
to the
large,
top.
the largest number, least sinful, would be. Oh, okay. I'm not really sure how to say this. Among the cities that Wallet Hub researched, these are the 10 least sinful cities. Number 182, number 181, number 180. So I guess will go backwards. So
Yeah, just kind of like you just
yeah,
pick one as you go through.
Yonkers, New York would be number 10, would be the 172nd sinful city or the 10th least,
Right.
yeah, sinful city. I've never been to Yonkers, New York. It doesn't sound pleasant.
Yonkers.
Yeah. The next least sinful city, Laredo, Texas. Again, not a place I'd probably want to spend much time.
They're just farming, ranching.
Yeah.
No time for sin.
Yeah, and they're it's not the Bible Belt, but they're good old fashioned people,
Yeah.
church going people, and so that's probably not a surprise. West Valley City, Utah, and I think any city involving Utah, given the big Mormon population, and kudos to the Mormon population for having good family values, and living right. That's exactly right. West Valley City, Utah. Cape Coral, Florida is next on the least sinliest city. The problem with Florida, alligators, man. Alligators.
Yeah, I know alligators. Every time I open up the news or something, it's like an old lady and her dog was eaten by an alligator. A young
Oh my
boy,
gosh, I can't imagine a worse way of
a
dying.
guy lost his leg, and
Yeah, it's like Jaws. I mean,
yeah,
I every time sometimes they have those shows, house hunters or my wife watches those all the
Oh,
time.
like the
And
gator hunters or the house hunters?
well, I know house hunters. You're looking for a house, and they might be in Florida.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
oh,
and
yeah.
they're in Florida, and then there's like they got, well, here's our outdoor pool and stuff, and they got it all boxed in. I mean, it's like glass because there's alligators. Alligators come up, and so I'm like, don't. Everybody talks about how great it is to live in Florida, but nobody ever talks about the alligators. I don't know.
I don't know, but I've seen that. I've seen where, matter of fact, now that you mention it, somebody buys a house and they're inspected. We've got to have a house inspection first, and the guy's going through the house and everything, and all of a sudden he'll goes like into the crawl spaces, and there's like 3 alligators under the
Oh
house.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
crazy.
I've not, no.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't move to Florida just because of the gators.
alligators, man, don't go. I mean, there's a reason that the Florida football team is called the Gators. Okay?
I
They're
didn't
called the
think about
Gators
that.
for a reason. Yes, it has nothing to do with the Gatorade drink. It has to do with alligators.
It's because gators they outpopulate people. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah, and they'll now populate them more if they eat them. Next on the list, South Burlington, Vermont, which is interesting about all of these.
Vermont.
Other than Cape Coral, or Yonkers or Lorraine, I mean, really haven't know anything about these cities, which means that there's probably not much crime, not a lot of activity going on, and that's probably a good thing that we don't know. If you're in South Burlington, Vermont,
Read the one from Hawaii.
we're not there yet.
Oh, you're not there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Columbia, Maryland is next on the
Columbia,
list.
Maryland.
I'll go through these little quick.
Isn't that a ritzy place, Columbia, Maryland? Is that kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
I think that's a rich area.
And that's the point. It's like,
It's
look, you're
gated
not-
communities everywhere.
I mean, they didn't pick our city, Chico, because it's not a big enough. They're looking bigger metropolitan
Oh,
areas.
okay.
But I mean, clearly, I mean, a lot of people have never heard of Chico, right?
Yeah.
And maybe because of Aaron Rodgers, because he went to school here and
Or
stuff.
back in the 80s with the whole Chico State, top party town in the USA.
Yeah,
MTV.
that was a while. But because we're not really, we don't. There's no real major crime. Knock on wood.
Amen,
No,
amen.
no big sin. There's no strip clubs along, downtown Chico. There's nothing like that around here. So, people don't even have heard of Chico. I remember before we came to Chico back in 2003, we were in Kentucky, and we were like, we'd never heard of Chico. I lived in California pretty much my whole life, never heard of it. And I think there's a reason,
Yeah.
because it's a good, clean town, good living. I think that's why.
I met my wife in Hawaii. Was playing in a club, and she came in to dance and stuff like that. And then we dated for a while, and then she says, "I'm moving back to Paradise." I said, "Where's Paradise?" And she says, "It's by this town called Chico." And I said, "Oh, I don't know." So I stayed in Hawaii for a few months. My wife moved back after she did an internship in Hawaii. And then I followed her, and I found out what Chico was.
Yeah.
I drove up here like in January, where all it was fog at the time. So now I live in Chico.
Port St. Lucie, Florida. Gators,
Yeah.
alligators. Madison, Wisconsin. Now that's a surprise. Madison has the University of Wisconsin, I believe, is located in Madison.
Yeah,
So it's a college town. So you'd expect it to be a little bit higher on the list, but it's not. That's good. Got 3 more. Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Bridgeport.
Fremont, California. I wouldn't have thought any place in California would have made it.
Where's Fremont?
I don't know. And it makes me wonder if Chico is on the list. I might have to look it up. The number 1 least sinful city in America is Pearl City, Hawaii. I've never heard of Pearl. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah. Okay. So I grew up in Hawaii, and I can tell you, I had a girlfriend there once when I was a kid. I was like 16. I take the bus to go see my girlfriend in Pearl City. It's kind of in the left middle of Oahu. And when you go there, I mean, this is like the 70s and 80s, but when you go there, all it really is these housing developments. And they have like the shopping center and the mall someplace, but it's all just like housing developments. There's no major hub of Pearl City. There's not a downtown where all the action happens. It's just a huge housing development. It's very peaceful. I still remember my girlfriend's name from back in the day. It's a very, very quiet residential area, extremely residential.
I want to talk about, real quickly, follow up on something we discussed a few shows ago. Former adult film star, Jenna Jameson, apparently has found Jesus,
Great.
or Jesus has found her, and in the process, she's become a Christian, and she's crediting Jesus with this. She's lost weight. I never knew that she was overweight to begin with. And she was a former adult film star.
Yeah.
She shared side-by-side close-up shots of her face, showing that she is now, quote, healed after years of dedicating her life to her faith. Chasing Jesus is what she calls it, conquering a fear. I've come a long way in the last few years. I'm so excited to see where my faith takes me, she had posted. And you can see it. There are two pictures. She has clearly lost a great deal of weight. You can see right there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put
Yeah.
them up on the.
She looks much healthier.
Yeah. Is there any? I mean, if you're looking to lose weight, maybe become a Christian. I don't know. I mean, there must be something to it. I don't know if whether or not there's any. Here's a nice photo of her. She's dressed appropriately. She's clearly lost a lot of weight. She still looks very attractive woman.
She's wearing a cross,
She's
and
wearing
she's
a
dressed
cross.
modestly.
Dressed modestly, healed, chasing Jesus and conquering fear. I've come a long way in the last few years, and I'm so excited to see where my faith
That's
takes me.
amazing. I love those stories.
I
When
do too.
somebody had a really checkered past and suddenly goes, you know what? All that was emptiness. I found Christ.
Right, because
Love
you know
that.
what? When you are involved in that industry, you are in the gutter. You are about as low as you can possibly get.
You know, it's interesting that when we talked about the top most sinful cities,
Right.
it was always lust and pornography that was that top of the list for
Yes.
them. And so if she was in that industry before, then that shows us that these people and cities can be redeemed. We pray for them that they would find Christ and find the life plan that God has for them, not the life plan that the enemy has for them. And it seems like she's a success story.
Yeah.
And I love that. I really like that. I wish more people would from that industry, especially I guess to say the more infamous or famous ones would come out and say, I found my life with Christ now. I'm a totally different new creation. I've turned my back on my former life. I'm now a new creation. I love that.
Another celebrity Christian to discuss, Justin Bieber. Apparently, he recently, just a couple of weeks ago, stopped to help a stranded stranger on the roadside and gave him the best prayer of his life. The video pop star's roadside encounter with a struggling man goes viral on TikTok
Nice.
with over 2 million likes.
Yeah.
He offered a helping hand to a stranded man after his car broke down and gave him the best prayer of his life. The man went by the name Buku. Shared the moment he was stuck on the side of the road, recording himself venting about his struggles before Bieber stopped to check on him. And he goes, "Hey, are you Justin Bieber?" He said, "Yeah. What's up, bro? What's up, bro?" And before Bieber made his appearance, the man had been explaining how life had been going for him, telling the camera, "The move to the big city, trying to make it like everybody else. I have no friends."
Oh.
And Justin Bieber gave him some good advice. I always like seeing this. I like when people, celebrities, I seem like they're legitimately humble, and really
Some are, yeah.
some are, and you don't expect that, but sometimes, it takes time. It takes
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
sometimes for people to realize they're not hot snot. You know, they're not the cat's meow.
Yeah, nobody really cares about them as much
Yeah,
as they think they do.
and inevitably, it's like God will say, we're going to take this away from you because it is hurting our relationship.
Yeah.
And if you want a chance to have salvation and have eternity in heaven with me, we're going to start taking some of this stuff away from you and see what you do now. And the trials and tribulations, I think, with some of these stars who were once stars and maybe now not everybody is in a sinful lifestyle. If you could be a Hollywood movie star and not be a sinful lifestyle, I don't want to say that. But
Yeah.
at any rate, gosh, we're out of time. The music came up so quick.
Yeah,
Alfredo,
great topic.
thank you so much for joining us. And here we're done for the week. We'll talk to you next time here on Rebel Religion in the News. Take good care. So long, everybody.